Hello, hello. Good evening, everyone. We're live now. Waiting for others to join. Hopefully, we have a great turnout tonight. Um, Lifestyle and menopause is something a lot of women um, want to talk about, and hopefully, that will be reflected in this evening's turnout. Hello, everyone. Hi, Esther. Hi, Dami. Thanks for joining. How you doing? How's your day been? Hope you had a good day. Hello, Juliana. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us. How are we doing? How's our day been? I hope we had a good day with lots of sunshine. I'm usually happier when there's sun. Thanks for joining us. Good evening. Good evening. I'm trying to start early, but I'm gonna have to. I'm waiting on our guest to join us. See if I can ping her quickly to join us. How's everyone doing today? Has it been a good day today? And let me know if you're regular or if it's your first time here joining us at FHF Q&A. Just by show of hand, thumbs up. Please let me know if this is your first time here or you're a regular. It'd be nice to know. 3 minutes past. We'll give you another 2 minutes. See a lot more people joining, and also get me to that'll help me get to our guests tonight. You all good? I did say I was going to do music last time, isn't it? I'd like to start as early as possible. Hi, the Ageless Queen says it's her second time joining. Thank you for joining us. Welcome. Actually, while we wait for our guests, I'll tell everyone a bit about us and what we do and why we do what we do. So this is FHF Support Network. We're a support group to encourage conversation, and proffer solutions, really, not just talk about it. We like to proffer solution and support and help women, but we like to have conversation and proffer solutions around women's health issues, and it could be from fibroids to endometriosis, myomectomy, menopause, name it, and women looking for alternative treatments and medicine. We've had a time. Well, we had actually that was a whole kind of Zoom meeting where we had professionals come in and talk about using food as remedy, and to heal stuff and ailments, and how sometimes it's just changing your food, changing your diet can just go a long way, to solve some medical issues. And so these are some of the things that we do, just bringing the options and the alternatives that women have. We're a platform where we share we also have a WhatsApp group about 100 and I think 8 or 9 women where it's all about sharing our experiences, supporting each other, and we've got professionals there as well, gynecologists, general practitioners, lifestyle coaches, who can help support and signpost us. Just also, we're all about creating awareness. We from time to time we do community outreach. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm gonna our guest for this evening has just joined. Okay, she's requested. I'm just gonna bring her on. So, like I was saying, this officer to join. Hi, good evening.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
How you doing? How's your day been?
Oh, we thank God.
Amazing stuff. I was just telling our viewers, our listeners really, and viewers, they're watching as well. A bit about FHF and what we do and why we do what we do, and really. Our goal is just to create an environment to educate, support, empower, and nurture women, address bias and unconscious biases, really, and just to create an environment where women can talk, have a conversation, speak up also, and be empowered. Because also most African people, we have the background of we don't talk about, especially our health issues. We're kind of been brought up to shush about everything. So, but in shushing, it's just getting us into more and more trouble. And because you don't know when you speak up, you don't know who can share their experience, can share their journey, and then you don't have to go through what they've been through, which is something that helps. Another thing that we're very passionate about is also educating and informing the younger generation. Honestly, some of the health challenges I've been through, my case was a case of fibroid, and it was quite a severe case. I will not want my daughter to go through that. And if some of the education the things that I know now, honestly, if I knew when I was much younger, even maybe 10 years ago, I will have to go for the severe, options and the things I had to eventually do. So we're really big on educating and informing the young generation. Sometime soon, we'll let everyone know when that's coming. We're going to have like a meeting, a webinar for younger people, just to educate them and also get their feedback and all of those things. So, but let me not go too much into that. Thank you. This is actually, I'll let you introduce yourself. This is our guest today. She's a pharmacist, a certified health and wellness coach. Please introduce yourself to our listeners, and let's have a conversation around
Hello, good evening,
wellness
everybody.
and menopause.
Good evening, ladies. Good evening, if there are any gentlemen. Good evening, if you're watching on the replay, or good morning, whenever you're watching. Hi, my name is Buki Ayade. As Toyi said, I'm a pharmacist, certified health and wellness coach, and I work specifically within the midlife space. My area of expertise is the menopause. What more do you want me to say? Currently, run Vibrant Midlife Wellness Practice, and also sharing my expertise at NHS England, where we are developing the National Menopause Program as we speak.
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you for joining us this evening, and thank you for making our time. We know you're a busy woman, and thank you for coming to have this conversation, chat with us, and answer some of the questions that women have. Mm-hmm. So today we'll be talking about lifestyle and menopause, and I know that you're big on lifestyle. Some of the tips I got about yam and all of that was from you. So actually, I'm just gonna jump right into it. So tell us, we have one of the questions around someone wanting to know, how does our lifestyle affect us in menopause? Because, hey, you want to share things with us around lifestyle and how it affects us in menopause.
Okay, so I guess I'm gonna actually back up a little bit because sometimes we try and attack these things, we go with the flow, and we're thinking, I mean, there's not a scarcity of lifestyle information, of health information out there. Everywhere you go now, there's eat this, don't do this, don't do that. But you find that still we we have chronic disease in our communities. We have women that are suffering, various chronic ailments, women that enter a menopausal phase or get into midlife, just get into over 40, they don't know what's going on because of lack of awareness. And so when I started to interrogate, to think, okay, why is it that, with all this level of information that's out there, our women are still, getting ill. They're still a part of it, have illnesses, and a lot of them are lifestyle related illnesses. And for me, where I think we need to start, even before we start to talk about what can we do, is the mind.
Right.
To actually begin to reorientate, if that's a word, yeah, just reorientate,
Recalibrate.
recalibrate, yeah, begin to actually figure out what's going on in our mind. Because once we sort out the mind, and we think about what it is we want to see in our lives in terms of health and well-being, that informs our action. And then we begin to, when we take right action, sustained action, we begin to see the transformation and the results we want.
Got you. So it all starts from the mindset.
It starts from
all
the
about
mindset
changes.
in being thinking upon what is it we want to see, being intentional in taking intentional action, being intentional in the actions that we take across various different domains, and then begin to see the results we want to see and we need to see in our health and well-being. So yeah, rather than just launch into, I want to do this, I want to do that, because once it's, you're set in your mind, you're clear in your mind that, I want to live in a certain way, I want to have a certain, lifestyle, that informs our action.
So as you were saying what you were saying now, something came to my mind. And honestly, like you said, there's a lot of information out there, sometimes more confusing than you want to know, even you want to care to understand. Like, what is this? This is confusing me more and more because there's bits and bobs everywhere. So it's usually better to go somewhere where you can kind of get guidance and all of that, which is what we're trying to do here.
Yeah.
But sometimes, even with all of that, many information out there, you kind of understand the importance of this lifestyle change and you want to do it, but sometimes we've got all kinds of challenges, honestly. But I speak for myself personally. You know what to do. You have a mind of like, okay, these are some of the things I should be doing, I need to be doing. When you start here and then before you know it, you're falling off the wagon. Is there I know that you're really an advocate for lifestyle and you're big on it. Is there anything, before we go to the rest of the questions that women have asked, is there any kind of guidance or help that you think women can get or reach out to be able to stay on track? Because sometimes it's not that we don't even know this information or that we don't have it or we haven't heard it before. It's just the act of being able to stay on those course, on the course, and on that goal. From your experience as a wellness coach.
So some of the things that help, because lifestyle change, and actually even for me, I mean, it's difficult to maintain the discipline. So some of the things that can help are, some people use gadgets. as accountability tools.
Mm-hmm.
Some people use, journals as accountability tools. Some people would use their peers, so a support network,
Mm-hmm.
to be accountable to, so that but once you're accountable, you know that you have to do the action.
Arian.
And honestly, as you said, and I'm happy what makes the change and what makes the habit stick is that accountability. So I say something like, accountability is the glue that makes that makes things stick.
Mm.
And so it's as individuals, we then choose what is most suitable for us. Is it the app? Is it the one-to-one interaction? Is it the peer support?
Right. I get. Yeah. I mean, I totally agree with you. And also, so having an accountability check or something or somewhere where you know that you're being held accountable. And I think another powerful force that will I want to put behind that is sustaining that, because like you said, and I think it's all down to finding what is your particular one, what works for you best, and just gets the drive to sustain it, because sometimes we do it for a bit and then so finding how to sustain that accountability where yeah.
So what I would say is, at a baseline,
Mm-hmm.
because as you know, we said there's a lot of information, but that
Mm-hmm.
information has to be personalized. It has to be individualized to the
Mm-hmm.
person. And at a baseline, work with a professional to help you to get that baseline for yourself, to
Right.
understand, to commit to certain actions. Again, also, not bite off too much than we can chew. Take one step at a time. When we think consistency, when we think sustainability, when we think lifestyle change, rather than I want to lose weight, or I want to be skinny, or I want I want to have, when we think consistency, sustainability, with accountability, with an individualized and personalized plan, we are heading on the right path on a journey to success in wellness.
So say that again. Consistency,
Sustainability, accountability. Think lifestyle rather than I want to lose weight or drop it this dress size, or once we form habits once we form habits that become a part of our lifestyle, all of those other things that we want to see begin to
eventually happens.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you for that. That actually makes a lot of sense. So it's just staying consistent and being able to sustain it, get accountability that works for you, and don't think along the lines of I want to lose weight, I want to lose 20 pounds, I want to do that. Just think along the lines of lifestyle. Lifestyle change.
Getting your own individualized plan, because what works for me will not be what works for you, Tony.
Absolutely. Agreed. Thank you. That's really helpful. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Okay.
But while we're on, please, if you have other questions that you want to put in the chat box, please put it in, and then Miss Ayode will answer us as we go along. For the next question that I wanted to ask is, with lifestyle changes, sometimes we know we have to change our lifestyle. We know sometimes we just don't know where to start. You just like, okay, I know I shouldn't be doing some of these things I'm doing, or eating this kind of food that I'm eating, but I don't even know where to begin, because like you said, so much information, all of this out there. What will you suggest? What's your guide around starting lifestyle change?
Okay, so Okay, let me go into a bit of theory. We're looking at, let's look at what are the wellness pillars, what are lifestyle pillars. We look at
Okay.
our food,
Mm-hmm.
we look at our physical exercise or fitness,
Mm-hmm.
we look at sleep, we look at stress, we look at support, that's community, and we look
Mm-hmm.
at substance. So when we talk about substance, we're talking tobacco, alcohol,
Right.
and that. So those are loosely, those are the main pillars. But we cannot do all of that at once.
Okay.
So what? So then again, when it comes back to when we talk about planning. Planning requires evaluation. Where am I at? Or where is, I've got somebody like Buki Adriana who is on. Where is Buki at this point?
Hi, Buki. Thanks for joining us. Mm-hmm.
Where is Buki at this point?
Mm-hmm.
Once we evaluate where she's at, because I mean, for her, it might be it's food she wants to look at. And there are tools that we use to do that evaluation. We do that, and then so that's a good starting point. Look at those pillars. We use our tools to evaluate. We question, we understand, because sometimes we can even do all of that evaluation and look around the where she's at. Is she ready to? Is she at a position where she's ready to actually commit to make the
Mm-hmm.
change that she needs? Because we can
Okay.
talk from now to eternity, create all the plans we want to create. But if she's not at a stage, maybe something's going on in life or whatever, where she can commit to the actions, again,
Right.
working with somebody, it will, as you said, we fall off the
The
wagon.
wagon. Mm.
So there's a whole lot of there's an approach that we adopt to say, okay, so for me personally, if I work with a client and I have these questions, I ask these questions, and we're not hitting scores where I feel she's ready, I'd say to her, go away, come back at a point when you are ready. But I would, then give certain tips that she can begin to start to work with at home. But as I said, we look at those pillars, but it's one step at a time.
Time. Mm. Okay, so thinking about what you've just said now,
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking, in your opinion, so what's the most effective way to kind of get a grip or really get a grip on the lifestyle change? So will it be getting a professional for accountability, or starting it out yourself, and then as you carry on, as you need more push and more help, and then you reach out to a professional?
Yeah, so it will be different for different people. Some people are techie, they can use apps. There are good apps out there that can help. Some people feel that I think in the NHS at the moment there are certain campaigns that talk around healthy living and all of those kind of things. And what I can do after this live is I can give some links to some useful resources that can at least give people a start when it comes to all of those. I would always recommend um, the NHS as a starting point.
Yeah,
Look at
well,
what.
okay, we've got people who are in America, people who in Nigeria,
Yeah, but
listening to
because
us.
it's online, it works.
Oh, okay, so just
Wherever you
an
are,
online
yeah,
link that, okay, it
the,
just, okay,
the
got
resources
you.
are online. So wherever you are in the country, you can access those resources.
So, okay.
That's the beauty of all of this,
So
So
just an
yeah.
online resource, not like you have to, it's adapted to NHS or
No,
how,
no, no,
okay.
no, 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 no.
So,
There are online resources. So there are and those will help. They're good starting points. But
okay,
if you
that'd be
want to work,
helpful to share, please.
yeah. But if you want to work with, I mean, in the UK, for example, if you want to go on a healthy living uh, intervention, if that will definitely, you can definitely access that by your GP. Definitely,
Mm.
definitely, there
Oh,
will be
for the
some.
lifestyle change, you mean, yeah?
Yeah,
Mm.
definitely.
Okay,
Um,
but I know that you also said that you're working with around, you're doing some work around menopause with the NHS.
Yes.
Because that's something that we talked about, I think 2 weeks ago as well,
Okay.
around women in the UK, how it's not going to a menopause clinic is not something that all the GPs will usually quickly refer you and all of
Mm-hmm.
that. And I
Mm-hmm.
know that we did say that, well, I did find that there was somewhere in Bedfordshire where it was free menopause clinic apparently, and
Mm-hmm.
all of that. So if you have those kind of materials that can help, either be in the UK or even in Nigeria, where women can go to and get help with menopause and all of that, please share the materials
Yeah,
with us.
I'll share the links. I'll share a lot of menopause care specifically at the moment. A lot of it, a lot of in-depth menopause care, and most of it here in the UK at the moment is private, if I'm honest. But there are some
Mm-hmm.
areas, that if they might have a nurse that specializes in menopause, or they will have a healthcare professional that specializes in menopause. It will possibly require a referral, or it
Mm-hmm.
might require a long wait. That's why women tend, more
To
often
go
than not,
private.
tend to go private.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I can definitely look to see where, what we can find, and depending on locality. And again, it's, as with anything NHS, it's variable, but based on locality, etc.
Yeah,
The
yes.
work we're doing at the moment is looking to bring in an optimal pathway. It's a whole piece of work, but it's not there
Okay.
yet.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for that. But whatever you have, please share,
Yeah,
and I can share it with the
I can
women,
do that. That's not a
and
problem at all.
anything helps around menopause. Something else that I wanted to ask was around lifestyle and menopause. So, can lifestyle change? Like maybe, for instance, maybe you're in your 30s, and you start to think, okay, let me start to, do something about my health, about my lifestyle, and what I
Mm-hmm.
put in my mouth, and all of those things. So,
Mm-hmm.
lifestyle changes, can that delay menopause at all, or
So yeah, I saw that
or can
question.
you bring you on early?
I saw that question. I was a bit confused, if I'm honest. I don't know about changing menopause. Menopause is a natural transition for
Hmm.
every woman.
So,
But as with
food and
all,
lifestyle can't delay it, or
I
can.
don't know that food and lifestyle can delay your menopause. But as with everybody, it's like when we were growing up. Some ladies, some young girls start their periods at 10. Some start at 13.
Mm-hmm.
Some
Mm.
women enter the menopause transition very early. Very rarely, but some do enter the menopause transition. The majority enter the menopause transition between 45 to 55. Now people
Mm-hmm.
are talking about 40 to 55. Um, so that's a whole window of time. So, but I
I,
don't know what lifestyle will help you do is help you put you in a place where when you start to experience symptoms, you are in a place where you can manage those symptoms a whole lot better.
right, right.
That's
So not that it will delay or.
I don't know that you can delay it. Yeah, when I saw that
We're
question, I
looking
was a
to
bit
proper
like,
solutions for women. If there's something that we can be eating to,
no,
kind of
I
put you
don't know.
back to
I
bed.
don't know that can. But what it will help you do is will help you. I mean, a healthy lifestyle, obviously based on foods. It will help you with managing inflammation. It will help you to, be able to balance hormones. That whole diet and hormone balance situation. It will
Mm-hmm.
help you with good gut health. Again, some of the symptoms that come with menopause are bloating, an irritable gut. A decent nutrition will help you with gut health. So it will help you, prepare your body to manage your symptoms better. At least you'll get into the swing of things.
Well, while we're here, I remember you said something to me about yam. I want you to share that thing again here on this platform, because two weeks, 4 weeks ago, when we had the gynecologist, she also talked about yam,
Yeah.
and how that helps a lot,
Mm-hmm.
in menopause and all of that because of estrogen and whatnot. But I've also had a few women sent me messages to say, oh, they've read how eating, well, as with anything in life, eating yam too much can also make your tummy bulky, and the starchy bit of yam, and so all of this conversation around yam. Tell us.
So, as far as I'm aware, the gels that are in that prescribed predominantly as hormone replacement therapy at the moment is estrogen. It's called estradiol. That is, I mean, it's made from yam.
That's what Miss Omar said. Yeah.
Yes. So I can see Miss Omar is online.
Yeah,
Hello,
she
Miss
is.
Omar.
Hi, Miss Omar.
So it's made from yam. So yam has what is contained. Yam has a component of it which is called a phytoestrogen. So it's an estrogen derived from plants that mimics our natural estrogen. Obviously, menopause, why we have all that chaos is because we have lower levels of estrogen, because our ovaries are not they're not working, and the function is declining. It's not producing as much estrogen. So what women that choose to use HRT, what they do is they use that as replacement. The evidence apparently is that it protects your heart, because when we lose estrogen, because estrogen affects a lot of our body functions, the brain, the heart, the cardiovascular system, the endocrine system, so we have estrogen receptors all over. So people say, oh, yeah, I'll use HRT as a replacement to my natural, to help me manage my symptoms. But I argue, I say, why don't we start with lifestyle? Because we know that there are certain diets that help the cardiovascular system. There are certain diets that help reduce inflammation. So we are not having, so to help with, say, for example, joint pain. We can use exercise to help our cardiovascular system. So, and also, it's also bearing in mind, what is your medical history? What is your family history around, because, we know that estrogen at certain levels could predispose people to cancers.
Apparently.
Yeah, so we have to, there are, this is why I always talk about an individualized approach. So when women go out and they Google information and they think, oh, yeah, let's go with that. No, because there's a whole lot of evaluation that needs to happen for me or you, Tony, as an individual, rather than, what's mass market, what applies to everybody. GPs, as Dr. Omar probably alluded to, GPs, well, I think they're getting better, because there's a lot of noise around the menopause at the moment.
Yeah.
But they're not necessarily, even GPs, when you present, in their 10-minute window that they have to speak to you, might not necessarily pick up that some of the symptoms you present with are menopausal, perimenopausal symptoms. That's what we're finding in the work that we're doing.
Right. Amazing. Yeah. So 4 weeks ago, we had talked about different symptoms of menopause extensively. So you can watch our previous live chat to be able to catch up on that.
Yeah.
But I know that we had you specifically told me about, even before I even knew all of this HRT with yam, all of that. You specifically told me about eating yam. And when Miss Omar came on, she was talking about yam. In fact, I had a joke about she didn't know where to get yam. I was like, okay, I was going to go get a box of yam.
I would have sought yam for you.
Yeah, I sought her out with yam, drive to her hospital, and take her a box of yam. So tell us a bit more what you know from your own point of view about eating yam, because we know that as Africans, that's something we eat a lot of. So what's the balance about yam and eating yam?
So again, it's being aware of your state, of your family history, of your medical history, I mean, I would say you can't necessarily eat yam to the extent that it will give you an HRT dose, for example. But it's a decent addition to your diet. The good thing about yam is very filling, so you don't need a lot to feel full. So again, that's a plus in my, because you eat yam, you drink a lot of water, you're fuller for longer. So I like it because it's quite versatile as well. It's boiled, you can fry. Well, when I say fry, so you know how we do fried yam at home, but I will lightly spray and grill under the grill it. That's how I get my fried yam. So so the versatility works for me. It's quite filling. And then obviously the benefit of the phytoestrogen benefit. I eat yam. I use flax seeds a lot as well. That's another good source of phytoestrogen.
So for anyone in menopause, so bottom line is that yam is good to eat. Yes, is that what you just said?
Yeah, well, yes, but that is being aware, just
with a balance,
of your own medical history and your family history.
So always something that I've picked out from, and I'm taking away with me from our conversation so far, is even with anything is all about the evaluation. Yeah. Make sure there's a proper evaluation before you get on a program or before you get to run with some lifestyle fad or anything that's going on with people. So absolutely.
We have a comment here from Juliana. She said, most menopausal symptoms are non-specific. It is difficult to conclude at initial contact with a GP that these are solely due to menopause. Well, menopause symptoms are not non-specific. There are symptom checkers. And so I'll provide Toyi with a symptom checker.
So when you say symptom checker, what does that mean? Because I know that in the last two Q&As, we've talked about a lot about symptoms of menopause, the mood changes, the sexual drive, the desire, so headaches, and the night sweat, hot flushes, and the vaginal dryness.
Yeah. So I don't want to recap what you've talked about.
Yeah. But so when you say checker, what do you mean? Something to help us gauge it?
Yes, absolutely. So you can tick off. So what the advice typically I would give a woman who is presenting at a GP is to use the symptom checker to capture what it is that she's experienced, so that when she presents at a doctor, she can say to the doctor, I feel that based on these symptoms I'm experiencing are perimenopausal symptoms. And the symptom checkers that I've created I've separated physical symptoms from psychological symptoms from vaginal symptoms, because then it just gives a little bit more clarity around what's required. So Juliana, the symptoms are, there are lists, and we can provide you with those lists so that if any of those things show up in your, if you monitor for over a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and present to a GP, he or she will then at least catch on that you're a bit clued on about what you're talking about, and hopefully they will work with you to get you the care that you need.
So thank you for that. That's another link that you need to share with us for symptom checker. I haven't heard that before, and I want to do that. So it's like a test that you do yourself. You do tick box
It's just a checklist. It's just they're just checklists. And they're just checklists. You tick, if you've experienced this, that, or the other, you can write certain comments. And so when you present at a GP, saying. And when you get to the GP as well, if it's not if the practice doesn't have a nurse who specializes in this area, you can ask for a referral to, within your locality. If they have something in a clinic in your locality, just ask for a referral. Yes, you might have to wait, but it's worth the wait.
Because amazing. That's really good to handy to have, actually, because sometimes also as women, and then we experience these different symptoms at different times, and by the time we're going to the GP, we've forgotten a few of them, and we're like, So you go to the GP, maybe you had 5 symptoms or 4 symptoms, and you only go with the 2 that you expected at that time, maybe when you got the appointment
Yeah,
or something. So, I mean, that will be handy to have. So please share the link, and I can also share in the group with the women to say, okay, do a tick box exercise, and when you're going to see your doctor or your GP, you can take this with you, and that way at least you remember all of the things that you've experienced, and you can know that this is
absolutely. If you have
premenopausal.
if you have something documented, it's always helpful
Absolutely.
to then have a conversation around, okay, by the way, this happened 2 weeks ago, it happened again next week, oh da 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 da. Okay.
Interesting. It brings me to another question that we have around food. Can food improve or make menopause worse? So all these symptoms that we're talking about, are there food that you need to stay away from, or food that you need to allude to say, okay, this makes me feel better, I should be eating more of this food, or this make all the symptoms really worse, move away from this kind of food?
Let me put on my lights because I'm getting dark here. 1 second, please. Excuse me, I beg your pardon.
Sorry about that.
Sorry. Yeah.
Hi, Lillian. Okay.
So I'm back.
Welcome back.
So, can food make menopause better, did you say?
Yeah, so can food improve the symptoms, or can it make you worse? Are there some kind of foods that it's good to eat because that will help the symptoms, or make the symptoms better, it won't be as bad? And are there food that you should just stay away from because it just makes all the symptoms worse, and
So, yes. If anybody listening today takes nothing away from what we've said, what I will say, and I will repeat it: eat more plants. Eat more plants.
Okay. Not only plants, eat more plants.
Eat
That's
more
doable.
plants.
Not only, but
Not
eat more
only,
plants.
but eat more plants. So let our foods be main. Let's involve a lot more plants. So vegetables, fruits, certain fruits, and let's incorporate a lot more of those into our diets. And I tell you why. For example, and just for a couple of, for example, I mean, a lot of plants are good for our guts. And once we have, so some of the symptoms of menopause are things like bloating, for example, or indigestion. You will eat and you just find that something, the thing will just
it's right in your throat.
So when we focus on our gut health, it's quite helpful for those kind of symptoms. For the plants also help with weight management, in that they are usually, I mean, hopefully in the way that we prepare those meals, they're usually less calorific. So that's for the benefits. And I'm just touching on a few things here and there. Obviously, this is a whole again, we talked about some of the plant-based estrogen containing foods that help us replace estrogen. So we talked about the yams, we talked about flax seeds, for example.
Soy milk must be good, because if you have fibroid, soy milk is a no-no. But I guess with menopause, soy milk will help because it's got estrogen.
Well, again, you also have to be aware of your family history, of your medical history.
Even at menopause, you can't drink those things.
Oh no, because I mean, if you overexpress your estrogen receptors and overexpress to, you don't want to tip yourself into cancerous state. So again, I'm always, what's your medical history? What's your family history? I would always, I mean, even if you've not had fibroids, or you've not, just always be careful. I mean, even I talk about yam. I only eat yam possibly once a week. I will not OD on
That's
that.
a lot. Once a week already.
Yeah.
For me, that's a lot, because I mean, So I mean that's regular. So I guess.
So, and then when we talk about other foods, we want to talk about less processed foods.
Yeah.
We want to talk about, because with menopause, what you're trying to do is balance hormones. So when you're starting to spike your sugars, so it's a whole scientific situation. But
I know. Is there a way to test it as a non-scientific person? How can I be testing that? Okay, I'm not spiking this hormones. Is there
well,
anything
apparently
to
there
test?
at the moment there are I've not looked into them because I don't need them, but there are um wearable glucose monitors that you can monitor your blood glucose levels over just over time. There are wearable monitors, but I mean, when we talk about sugar, is just, that's just your worst enemy. All the sugars, all the sweet things, all the all the processed things. So, and that's why it can be difficult. So you've got to then just take one thing at a time, take one step at a time, work with somebody that can help you get to where you need to be.
Mm. But more specifically, do you know of any test kits for hormone?
I don't know of test kits. I know of centers that run tests, but to be honest, right now the evidence for testing is only in women under 45 years of age. If you're over 45, you do not diagnose perimenopause or menopause with tests, because the hormonal levels, the fluctuation is there's a lot of fluctuation. So the evidence is, or the nice guidance, for example, says you just go by symptoms. Hence, the symptom tracker is a better tool. Obviously,
Please
if
share
you're
this
young,
symptom tracker so we can share it. I want to take that test as well, because
it's
sometimes
not
I
a
could feel like,
test. It's not a test. It's just for you to
well,
recognize. Okay,
got you.
I've experienced this, that, or the other. Yeah, I'll get that. I'll get those to you. I have to work. There's somebody working on them at the moment, actually. So I just need to make sure that she gets them done sooner rather than later.
Thank you. That'll be awesome. That'll be awesome. Yeah. So we asked a question about improving food that can improve or make.
So let me just talk about quickly. So some of the foods that apparently make hot flushes worse: chili, and we like chili.
Makes it worse.
Apparently makes it worse. Chili. What's the other one? If I can remember now. Yeah. So alcohol. That's again, and I think I've experienced that, actually. Like you have a glass of wine or a sip of wine, and all of a sudden you flush.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow. What about coffee?
Coffee. So
Caffeine.
Caffeine apparently affects flushing, but for me, caffeine is more around the jittering. It's more around jittering. It's more around.
Is that menopause or being jittery?
Yeah, anxiety and yeah. That's a big side effect of. That's a big symptom.
Really?
Absolutely. So caffeine. So caffeine works. It affects that anxiety and all of that, and also caffeine affects sleep. Because when we enter this phase, we are affected by because of the drop in hormones. It affects our sleep patterns. So how people have coffees, lots of coffees during the day, etc. You're needing to have a cutoff window for your You're needing to have a cutoff window for coffees these days. At least as if you don't have sleep problem. But yeah. So I personally, I weaned myself off caffeine. I weaned myself off wines. Occasionally I might have a wine, because again, the alcohol again impacts your sleep as well. So some people think, there's that myth that if I have a drink, I can sleep better. No. So,
oh wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. I have one more question. We still have about 10 minutes, and if anyone else got a question, please put it in the chat box. So regarding, I know you touched on this a bit earlier on, but is there any particular kind of? I know you've said it has to be some kind of evaluation, and it should be person specific. But as a general rule, is there any kind of routine or guidance, that you can give us for lifestyle during menopause? Just on a general basis. I know that you've said we have to evaluate and we have to kind of, it has to be person specific. But are there any general stuff like, okay, by the time you're experiencing all of these symptoms, or when you're in menopause, get into this kind of routine, or some kind of guidance?
I would say I would excuse me, I'll go back to what I talked about, the wellness pillars. So focus on nutrition that supports you, that helps you, helps you manage your symptoms. I'd say focus on fitness, so exercise. So that not just helps, our cardiovascular risk. It also helps, as we at this phase of life, we lose bone mass, we lose muscle. So that fitness. So what's the exercise what are we doing to help keep our bones stronger? What are we doing to help build our muscle? A key thing with foods, again, is proteins. Proteins are good for us at this phase of life, simply because it helps us build muscle.
Okay.
So I would say focus on food, focus on fitness, manage stress.
How manage stress?
Manage stress. That's a whole different webinar around stress. And there's a whole science around stress and how that relates to menopause. But manage stress. I also have an expert series coming up, so people should keep an eye out on my profile, because I've engaged a number of specialists to talk about different topics. One of those specialists, she's actually online at the moment.
Can you share the link on here? So
when it's available, I will share it.
Okay. But, no, just a link for your space, so women can go there and have a look. And
at Vibrant Midlife. So yeah, when our expert series starts, it will be on there, but she's on here at the moment. So stress management is so key for us at this phase of life. Ensure good sleep hygiene, so quality sleep. That's have good support. Find good support. We can't do this thing alone.
You mean human support? Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm talking human support. That starts from home. So is it the husband? Is it the children? Have the conversations. Let them know what's going on. So that they can support
you're a changing woman. Menopause kicking in.
Self-care is so key. So I think that's a good starter for 10. And a low barrier to entry is our wellness and affirmation journal. That's a good self-care tool that women should look into. It's on my profile.
No, I mean, talking about wellness journal, I mean, generally for me, it's about writing things down. I don't know about other people, but my brain's getting fuzzy sometimes, thinking, and what's helped me is putting things down, in books or even in the notes in my phone. I mean, it's amazing how much I have to refer to my notes in my phone, because most of the time I'm forgetting things. I'm like, I go, okay, write it down, or have books, where I have to scribble things, and so definitely an affirmation journal, or, it's a way to go to be able to, and because your one specifically also helps with affirming one to say, I can do this, I can go here, all of those ones. Tell us a bit about it before we have a
It's
few
just,
more minutes.
yeah, it's just the affirmations. Obviously, it's positive self-talk, which helps to build, because we find that women at this phase of life, a lot of them lose confidence, lose self-esteem for whatever reason. I know we focused a lot today on physical health. I also want to just bring to mind mental health. We need to take those breaks because we need to preserve our minds as well. And what are we feeding our minds? So again, the journal has meditation verses that help us. The other thing that I would also, and just be holistic in our approach to our well-being. What are we feeding our spirit? Again, that's so key. So so
and it's really interesting that you talk about mental health, and also the fact that at menopause women start to feel less confidence, and I think it's got something to do with the forgetfulness as well. And then you're beginning to think like, things that you will easily do, or you can fix, previously, even at work. Sometimes you have to try and find a
you
balance.
have to find
Because
strategies to help you deal with.
things you've done for years, and it's beginning to feel a bit incompetent. Like, what's going on
What's
here?
going on? So you've got to recognize and create strategies to help you deal with. I remember my daughter, I was telling her that, oh, I need you to do this. She said, Mom, what's wrong with you? Why? I said, why are you acting like you? Why are you acting like? I said, I just need help. I just need you to help me with this at this point in time. Not because I'm being spastic or I'm being whatever. It's just because sometimes you just find that you lose competence in certain areas.
And as women, honestly, we need to reach out. We need to family members, friends, loved ones. We need to reach out, even support network. We need to reach out, get the help that we need, honestly, because we cannot stay in isolation. And some of the things that women go through, it leads to all these mental health issues. And you see someone just snaps, and you're thinking, what's happened, And it's just a lot of things that have piled up, So we need to be talking more, to be engaging, and to reach out, get the help, get husbands, like we have said, husband, children, friend, anyone available, reach out, let them know what you're going through, so you're not in it by yourself, and someone can understand, because your dynamics changes.
Have those conversations. They're very important. Don't be alone.
Absolutely.
Reach out for help because the help is out there. And what I find, especially, I need to speak to this quite quickly, to our community. You will try and try and try and try and try. Our community won't engage.
It's the way we are raised, and that's what's killing most people, because we don't speak, we don't engage, we rather keep quiet and suffer alone in silence, but we need to speak up. Some of the things, some of the benefits, some of the things that the white Caucasian people get, because they're quick to speak. If something's wrong with a white woman, she doesn't care. She tells it anywhere, everywhere. And she gets help, and that's why there's quick help. Anything that's synonymous with them, there's help. But because we keep, Menopause is a big thing anyway, everybody's getting the help. All of us who are in this one together. But I'm just saying other things that mainly affects Black people, because we don't speak up, we don't get the help. We don't get the attention and the attraction that it needs.
We are in a place where we are being. Our community, the narrative is, we have underlying conditions. A lot of these are lifestyle related things that with simple tweaks, we can at least begin to change the narrative. But get into the community, trying to build those communities to say, you know what, let's do this together.
Absolutely.
It can be quite exhausting, actually.
It can be. And I've had someone told me before how just not eating some kind of food, completely took away his arthritis, and he did not have it again. And so
I
most of these things
that in my own life
around food and the kind of things.
I used to have serious pain. But with the tweaks I made, I don't have those pains. With the tweaks, both food and exercise, it's kind of counterintuitive. You have joint pain and you are lifting weights, but funny enough, it's the weights that helps lubricate the joint that helps the pain go away.
Well, I think food is really, really important. So
absolutely.
having that balance and changing the lifestyle and removing the food. I mean, I'm not saying it's an easy thing, but get on the program that's suitable for you and eliminating food that that we don't need to be eating at this stage.
Inflammatory foods. So I'm veering away from red meat, anything cow related. I'm veering away from that right about now, and I'm feeling the benefit of it.
Honestly, and it's amazing. And because one that I personally have experienced is eating rice. Honestly, the week or the month that I don't eat rice, I can tell the difference. At times I say, okay, I'm staying away from rice for 1 month, but because we're a community that eats a lot of rice, so those are things that we need to be aware of, and say, okay, let me eliminate this for a bit of time and see how that, but also it's about sustainability, like you said earlier on. So just
So we can eat brown rice a little, but we don't like brown rice because it's husky and it's funny and it's
not tasting nice. Yeah, but also with all of those kind of things, find ways to make things work. Even with brown rice, put a bit of turmeric in it for color, because I like to see the color.
Absolutely.
A bit, just spice it up.
Yeah. A little bit of soy sauce here, stir fry here. Yeah, absolutely. And that's and I love the way that you're saying that. Replace quinoa, so replace rice with quinoa on occasions, replace rice with bulgur wheat on occasions. It's just different things that we can do. Make those swaps. And as I said, it's one thing at a time. I still fall off. I can eat a whole bag of crisps, a whole bag. And I'm thinking, okay, man, but I don't do that. I don't do that anymore.
Amazing. Thank you so much. For me, this has been very educational. I have learned a lot, and it's been an interesting conversation. Thank you for your time. Thank you, Miss Omar.
Thank you, Miss Omar.
It's been an amazing time. Thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. And
you're most welcome. I'll share all those resources. Don't harass me. I will share them.
I will harass you. I will harass you for these resources.
But I will get them to you as soon as I can. Yeah.
So we can send it on to women. And thank you so much.
Can I just say one last thing?
Sure, quickly before the time cuts out.
So because I feel that for the past how many pandemic years we've been behind screens. That's not good for our well-being. So I do have a wellness workshop coming up. It's a live in-person workshop, and we will touch on these things in a little bit more depth. So please keep an eye on my profile, because I'll be sharing about that soon. It'll be in the lovely countryside of South Buckinghamshire.
Hey.
It's gonna be lit, so please come along.
Okay. Is there facility for online or just purely
this particular one? This first one I want to do live, but what I might do going forward is an online presentation.
Okay, all right. Share the link. We'll share with the men, and
people. And please, can all these ladies, Pegs and Bookie and Miss Omar, and please join me. Yeah, click on my link on my profile, and it'll be great to connect with you all.
Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's been lovely.
Your time. We appreciate you, and thank you everyone for joining this evening.
Thank you, Ageless Queen. Yes. Love that name.
Ageless Queen. I know, beautiful name.
I love that name.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bex. Thank you, Adex Film. Oyema, thank you, darling Oyema, for joining. Thank you, Patrice.
Thank you, Juliana,
and Wellness.
Esther.
Thank you, Heavy D. Yemisi Ojo. Thank you for joining, Lillian. Thank you, Juliana. Thank you, Nubiel. Thank you, Blackness. The sound, I like that, Blackness. Thank you for joining, Buki Adenaku. Thank you, dear, for joining. Amazing stuff. In 2 weeks' time, we still have one more talking about general menopause with a general practitioner, actually. So thank you, everyone. Have a lovely evening, and we will see you again in 2 weeks. We hope that this has been useful and helpful, and you've taken away stuff, and then you can listen to the recording on our Instagram page.
Catch you
Thank you,
on the
everyone.
replay. Bye bye.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a good evening. Bye bye.